So the Downtown Eastside has persisted as a low-income area through much of Vancouver's history. It used to be called Skid Row. There's about 5,000 units of what we call SRO hotels. So these are single rooms in hotels with shared bathrooms and no kitchen facilities, and probably they were originally home to resource workers who would stay there seasonally in town. And now that stock of SRO housing, much of which is extremely dilapidated and decrepit, is the only thing that people who are trying to survive on the starvation BC welfare rates can survive. Downtown Eastside is also kind of a crossroads for different demographic trends. So it's become kind of a urban native community, and you'll find people from native nations all across the country concentrated in downtown, so in the Downtown Eastside.
For Indians to camp in the city, and when they displaced the Burrard Nation by barge up the coast. The second displacement was also in 1913, when the city broke up the last legal brothel district in the city and displaced women throughout the city into dangerous alleys and corners in order to be hunted by serial killers. The city did that with the administrative tricks of licensing officers. In 1941, they displaced the Japanese community, which was rooted in the northern part of the Downtown Eastside, and seized their properties and businesses and sold them at auction and put those people into concentration camps. The fourth great displacement was of the black community in Hogan's Alley in 1970, when city planners decided that it was a slum. They called it urban blight, and they leveled the community with bulldozers, and they replaced it with a viaduct. That black community was destroyed by city planners and by the forces of development in this city. All of these things have something in common that we're looking at now. Every one of those great displacements has happened at a time of rapid urban development. Every one of them has happened at a time of economic boom or economic collapse. And every time they have talked about the people who they're going to displace by calling them names, by calling their communities a ghetto, or calling them slums, or calling them junkies, or calling them whores, or calling it 4 blocks of hell. And every time that violent language came right before they came in with bulldozers and knocked the communities down and drove people out. And we know what the violent impacts have been and how much death and suffering has resulted from those 4 displacements that have come before. So we can say now, the city and every one of those moments could have acted to stop those displacements from happening. And today, they could act to stop this one as well. So we are calling on the city to stop displacement, because we won't be priced out, we won't be policed out, and we won't be pushed out.
What it said was the developer to sell the property to the city buy it, and preserve that site for a 100% social housing at welfare rates.
I am a Downtown Eastside political poet, and I'm angry.
Amen.
I'm one of 35 people who live at the Age Hotel, we are, at 139 East Hastings, right next to the Sound Lounge, right behind the Pantages Sequel 138 project. My ancient hotel is run by the Moss Society, but they are planning to renovate and kick us all out soon.
Shame!
For sure they will be charging higher rents to new people who move in. Most of us in the area used to be homeless, including myself, and we're really afraid of that happening again. Some of us won't be able to handle a move, any move at all.
Yeah, that's true.
Christopher, who lives in the Age Hotel, said he can't imagine getting a better room than the one he has now. He must have one of the better rooms there. He doesn't want to move out of the area. He said that he came to what he thought would be the worst area in the country, but he cleaned up here because of the services. Thank God for the services. He also said, yes! He also said that those services are now being threatened by all the high-end stuff and staff from Shitty Hall coming in. Shitty Hall. As Asia residents, we do not understand why this condo project will only have 10% apartments at old age pension and welfare rate. We need 100% subsidized housing and welfare rate, the other services that we need.
And what's really funny is that son of a bitch, Marco, he can call us junkies and that, but the guy is a gangster himself. He's been investigated for money laundering. He left he has a $200 million lien against that the mill he was supposed to clean up. He owes the city of Mackenzie $54 million in taxes. That's $250 million. That son of a bitch took out of Mackenzie as his friends got rich and left it in a hole. I'm telling you, this guy, you know, he has a lot of balls to call us idiots.
We are not second-class citizens. We are not junkie criminals. Nobody is more important than us. The Downtown Eastside is our community. It is our home, and our voice is the most important one to decide what kind of development we want here. And we say no condos. We have all the housing we need.
I say no condos, no condos, because these rich people are moving in and creating war with our Downtown Eastside.
People who live in a gas town hotel don't even like to go out at night because they feel put down so much by higher income white people who come to use our neighborhood as an entertainment and drinking district. We shouldn't be afraid to go out in our own neighborhood.
When the cops do sweeps and clear the streets for condo projects and boutiques, that's when Aboriginal women get thrown out of hotel windows, and that's when women have to do more sex acts to line up new dealers, and that's when the lowest end men in the drug trade get beaten or killed over new turf wars.
This is our urban reservation, where the government put natives they didn't want. Now, just like the government does when they discover oil under treaty land, City Hall and big business are trying to push Aboriginal people, and especially Aboriginal drug users, out of the Downtown Eastside. The colonizers made residential schools to break up our communities, to break down the ways we organize our communities and families, to force us to speak and act like them. After that, many of us ran away from our home communities because it was shitty there. We are already displaced people who fled from the violence of Canadian colonialism.
Freedom and justice comes from the grassroots. It doesn't come from the top down. So I shake my head when I look at a market system and a political system that pushes those things aside and says, that doesn't matter, there's a few $1 million to be made. You guys are going to spend a heck of a lot more than a few $1 million resolving the problems that this community has been working to resolve for 30 years and more.
Yeah. Now, I don't know all your names, but I know 90% of your faces. Now, I know I can say hi to 90% of you. And if I'm gone more than one day, not showing my face on the street, somebody's going to ask where I am.
I swear that we got a bunch of addicts on City Hall, on City Council. Seriously, they're not here. Where are they? Must be tweaking somewhere. I said, they didn't even RSVP us, you know, saying we're not going to come. You know, like, yeah, that's class. That's class, you know, you're supposed to lead by example. This is example they want to show us. Well, guess what? To Miss City Hall. We got our training club. We're done our training. Now we're coming and we'll play our game, not your game. We're taking the game to you guys. That's the City Hall.
Social housing is a right. Put homes, not jails. Homes, not jails.
Over the past year, we collected over 3,000 signatures in opposition of this Pantages site. And we've also had 40 groups representing tens of thousands of people that oppose this project.
The City Council unanimously shut down this site, saying that it wasn't proper for whatever reasons. There's a new proposal that's going next week, Tuesday the 23rd, and that's the permit board. One of the things that we're really upset about is that City Council is leaving the decision up to this permit board to give the go-ahead for this, and it should stay in City Council.
Look at this mess of rubble and mold and rodents. The only dead zone here is Mark Williams. He should be buried right there. Mark Williams bought this property for $400,000 in 2004 and 2009, he tried to sell it to the city for $9 million. How much money is enough, you arsehole?
Landlords, capitalists, and Mayor Gregor Robertson. And the reason that we are here is because this city council, as do many governments, took away our political voice. We are here to take our political voice back, and I hope I speak for everyone here in this room.
We're definitely sticking together. Would City Council meet with all City Council meet with all of us here before next Monday?
Yes. Now. Not next Monday.
I said before next Monday.
Not even before.
No.
They won't meet now. They could have met us last week.
And we have to stay here all night?
Are we gonna wait here until they come back with an answer?
More words.
May I ask a question? How come it is when the Downtown Eastside gather to talk to the mayor and councillors, the fact is you run for the hills as soon as you see us coming?
Council apparently had a meeting without me and Councillor Carr in the back there, and they're on a break for an hour to deal with, some of them have to deal with urgent business. But there is a majority who can meet with you right now. A majority of council, in 7 minutes. 7 minutes for half an hour.
These two demands are why we are still here today. We've been making them now for 1 year. And a year ago, back in the spring and early summer, the city refused Mark Williams' proposal for condos on that site. And then since the election, it has come back. And it's going forward to the Development Permit Board hearing next week on Monday. But our community is very concerned that this project is far too serious to be dealt with by a permit board that has a strictly administrative responsibility. People who are appointed and not elected. People who are not accountable to anyone. So we believe that it is City Council's responsibility to hear the unanimous voice of the low-income community in the Downtown Eastside, and to hear the voice of the 1,000 people who live on the 100 block of East Hastings. So we want you to make a decision to stop this project and to do something to secure and build housing for the low-income community in the Downtown Eastside. Because as people say who live in the Regent and the Balmoral, people in those buildings are dying because of the lousy housing conditions. To be crass, those people who live in those buildings, when I ask them about building housing on the 100 block, they say we need housing way fucking worse than yuppies need more condos.
I'm probably up earlier than most of these councillors. I'm up at 6 in the morning making coffee for the people that work and live downtown. I watch these people come in and they seem to get younger. I want to know why they get younger. I need to know to work, and I cry sometimes because they're young. There's no help for them down there. We need more help.
Times I'll go up, further up, down out of the East Hastings, and I'll try to panhandle, and I've been spit at and throw hot coffee at.
Now you people, you bring people in from condos and the outside, they come down, they party in our area, and they make asses of themselves. Complete asses. But yet they run us down. Us. We keep a little group, we drink by ourselves, we go home when we're supposed to, we don't cause no trouble, but you bring down those assholes, and they think that they can raise hell here and then go back to their little condos. And party.
Someone who is openly hostile towards drug users and illicit drugs will be setting up a building right across the street from Insight. What will that mean for the security of harm reduction and for Vancouver's 4 pillars approach to dealing with addiction? And it also has a bigger impact because this is the first major condo project in the Downtown Eastside Oppenheimer district. That's right. And we need council to use whatever measures you can to hold back development in the Oppenheimer district. Because the Victory Square area has been roasted by gentrification from Woodwards.
So in the early 2000s, there was a huge social struggle in the Downtown Eastside to secure Woodward's as social housing. It was a department store, famous department store in Vancouver that had been sitting empty for quite a long time and was kind of seen as a prime spot for social housing in the neighborhood. So there was a squat there with, you know, dozens of people participating in the civil disobedience of staying in the squat, and then literally thousands mobilized to defend the squat in the when the police tried to take it apart. It became you know, a major social struggle, and it's a history to look back to because we won that immediate struggle. So we got promises from the province and the city to turn Woodward's into social housing, but there wasn't the organizational infrastructure to follow up on that victory and really turn it into a substantial victory. So what we ended up getting is a redevelopment of Woodward's as a so-called mixed community with a lot of market condos and a little tiny bit of social housing. And what's happened now is it's totally transformed that block. So it's become the hub for gentrification in that area of the Downtown Eastside, and people talk about that block as being lost to us now. I mean, people who are longtime Downtown Eastside residents don't feel comfortable going on that block. It's heavily policed by private security. So there's going to be a showdown on Monday with the Development Board hearing at City Hall. It's not clear to me that we have a very good chance of actually preventing the development at that point, given that that Development Board is really developer controlled. So they're really not very responsive to the interests of the community. But I think we've built enough of a sense of struggle around this that people are talking about that they're not going to let the development go ahead even if it passes at the hearing, and people are talking about civil disobedience to prevent construction on the site and just prevent the developer from putting his profits over the interests of the community. So I think that's going to materialize, and I think the exciting thing about this, again, in contrast to and learning some of the lessons from Woodward's, is we have the Downtown Eastside Neighbourhood Council, which is a really powerful vehicle for sustaining these struggles past one immediate location or period to a long-term kind of community struggle and vision of our neighborhood that reflects the interests of the people who actually live there now.
I want to make a quote from one of my heroes, Martin Luther King, and he said, "A riot is the voice of the unheard." And no, I'm not calling for a riot, but this is like a passive riot, and this is why we're here, because we feel like we're being unheard, and you guys are councillors, please hear us and please hear our cries. Thank you.
Thank you very much.